welcome.
Okay.
Hi guys, welcome. We'll give a few more minutes for people to come in and then we'll get started. All right.
I think we're good if you want to start.
All right, we're good. Hi, I'm Suzanne Nielsen. I'm one of your hosts for today. Also with us is Laura. Hi, Laura, and
Hey.
Roxanne behind the scenes here. Yeah, we are your hosts, so we get to show you all these lovely things. I am a designer and teacher for mostly zenyarngarden yarns, and Laura is also in the marketing side of the crafting world and does her own podcasts and things to check out too. So, and then of course, Roxanne is our fabulous director of, creative director of Zenyarngarden and bringing you everything here. So we have some special things for this hour. We are recording it, so you might see it pop up later. But if you're here live with us, you can answer or ask questions. So feel free to put those in the chat at any time. Laura does a ton of knitting of the samples. So a lot of the things I show her or show here, she's knit. And I have worked with Zen a whole lot. So we have answers for you if you have questions. Also, we get to give away 25% off with the code SPRING. So in your shopping cart, you can type in the code SPRING, the word SPRING, and you'll get 25% off of everything. Plus, you get free shipping on $49 and above in the US, and then I think it's $99 in Canada. So we'll be posting that information in the chat too. Also, Laura gets to give away gift certificates, so keep your chats open. And yeah, maybe, was I supposed to let Laura tell you about that? I'll let you tell it about it.
It doesn't matter. We have two $10 gift cards that we're going to be giving away today. There'll be some trivia questions that we'll be asking, and we'll give you plenty of notice so that you can open your chat and answer those, and then we will randomly select from the correct answers. Those can be used with any discount code or any sale price merchandise. So for instance, if you purchase merchandise that is already on sale at the Zenyarngarden's website, you can still apply your 25% off to that with the code SPRING, and you can use your $10 gift card. So we like things that stack, and so we make an effort to do that. So I went ahead and posted all the details. Again, it's 25% off site-wide. That will run till April 23rd, which is a couple weekends. So we've got a little time, and use the discount code SPRING. So all capital letters. So, and I'll be adding tidbits to the chat as we go, pattern names and links, and we'll be showing you some fun stuff today.
Yay. And like I said, just interrupt us at any time. We like some interaction. So and let's see, first I get to show you the Snow Mantra shawl. So we did do a tutorial Tuesday about this one too. So if you didn't catch that, make sure that you go and see it. We talked about the techniques because this one is interesting. You do some, like, I forget what it is, but it's like knit 1 into 17 and then decrease by a whole bunch and increase by a whole bunch. And then also each of these ridges that you see here is actually an I-cord bind off, which, when I first saw this shawl, I thought, that sounds really annoying, but it's really actually pretty fun. The other fun thing about it is that, at any point, like if you get to this point and you say, wow, this is big enough, then you can just be done because it's already like bound off along your way. But it is just a beautiful, large, gorgeous shawl. And we used one of our gradient cakes in the Serenity Silk Plus. Plus 2 skeins of just the regular Serenity Silk Plus. So in this one, we chose a pink color and a white color. So those were the 2 skeins we have. We also have kits available that are both white if you don't want that pink in the background. But the gradient cake that flows through it is that colorway is called the Snow, just Mantra, I think. So Mantra, and this is the Snow Mantra pattern that Laura knit. Isn't she amazing? And then, like I said, it's just a really big shawl. I am 6 2, so it's longer than me. It's just a really big, nice shawl that I usually wear. I like to wear my shawls like just a nice cowl a lot of times, but it's also big enough that you can do different things, like if you left it as a cowl, but then brought these down. So crisscross behind you, and then you can do a little tie, maybe off to the side. Just tie it, and then you can bring it down, and it can be even like almost, I don't know, a cowl or a shrug, capelet, something. I don't know. But that's a really fun way I like to wear them. Also, you can do the what do we call that other way? The Little Women way, maybe, where you wear the shawl to the back and then crisscross it in front of you. And then I usually like to be able to bring it to the side just a tiny bit. I don't know if I can do that, but tie a knot in the back. And then that's another way to get it to be more of a, you know, all covering and stays put and nice. But I've showed this trick before, but I think it's such a good trick. When you just do a shawl to the side or to the back, oftentimes people will wrap it and they'll just throw this over the shoulder, which is great until you go to like do something and then pick something up and then this just falls down. But if you put this side first, and then you put this side over, it kind of like locks it in place without even having to wear a shawl pin. And then you can like move around and do more stuff. So anyway, I just love this shawl. It's just really interesting. You're going to learn a ton of different techniques. And like I said, we did a tutorial Tuesday for it. So you can take a look and really see and learn how to do it. We do have the kits, so you can buy the pattern and the yarn together. And maybe Laura can tell us a little bit more about it because she did knit it, although I spoke a lot.
You're fine. So the shawl, even though it looks really complicated, it sort of reminds me a little bit of feather and fan. Just in this case, you're doing basically, rather than kind of equally spreading out your increases and decreases, you're doing them all at very specific points. So when you're increasing, you're not doing a bunch of yarn overs, you're doing all your yarn overs kind of on one stitch. So most of the increases are 1 to 9, and the really big ones are 1 to 19, which are kind of fun and a little complicated, but add a little bit of interest. And then when you're doing your decreases, you're going from 9 to 1. So those real kind of extreme increases and decreases are what makes that ripple shape throughout the shawl. And basically there are kind of 2 sets of repeats. There's kind of an A and a B, and you just keep alternating those. There is enough yarn in the kits that we've put together to knit the shawl pattern as written. That is what Suzanne is wearing there. But you could actually stop almost at any row if you wanted to, because at the end of each section, you're doing that I-cord edging, and you are actually basically doing an I-cord bind off. On the next section, you're going to go pick it up, but you can always stop it a little bit sooner. So I will show you the kits that we have at zenyarngarden. Let me grab that. And so we have the kits basically in the shawl as in the colors as written, which is a natural undyed, a pale pink, and then the snow mantra or mantra gradient. The other thing that we can do is if you don't want to purchase it in those colors, if you want to purchase it kind of in your own colors, we also have a kit available for that. I've put both links in the chat. And the snow, you can also get it with 2 skeins of white and then any of our Luxe Gradient cakes. And we have lots of different colorways that we have made in these. The Luxe Gradient cakes are on our Serenity Silk base. So it is absolutely luscious. And these cakes are oversized. They come 150 grams, 750 yards per cake. And that's how you kind of get it to go all the way through the shawl. You could potentially reverse the colors and make the gradient the background color where the white and the pink are, but you might need a second gradient cake if you were going to do that. So someone has asked me about that, but just so you know, that's kind of how I manage this. And yeah. So you can order any color combination you want. The pattern itself is designed by Svetlana Gordon, and that is available on Ravelry. And I put a link to that in the chat thread as well.
Awesome. Like I said, it sounds intimidating because of all these crazy moves that you're doing, but once you learn them, it's kind of fun. It keeps it interesting and Like I said,
Yeah,
I thought it would
basically-
be annoying, but it was not.
No, basically, once you do the first 2 sections, you know how to do the rest of the shawl. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can stop where you want to stop.
And it's pretty easy to like read your work as you go too. So, you know, you're not like constantly referring back to the pattern and things. You can kind of like get the flow with it and go, or you can like find your place in the pattern pretty easily if you, once you get going. All right, so that was Snow Mantra, knit in the mantra colorway with either the undyed and pink or just the undyed. And next I get to show you a crochet project, which is fun and a little different for us. Oh gosh, I thought I had it right. Here it is. Oh, I have another project that's the same colorway and I accidentally grabbed that instead of this, but I have it right here, thank goodness. So this one is a crocheted poncho, which I'll put on to show you. And all right. There, it's just lovely. It's 3 different skeins, but we have kits that are coordinated for it. So you're going to use one that's like a splatter colorway, splatter colorway, but it's the same name as the variegated colorway. So they contrast because there's such different, you know, this one is on like the way the dye is done is just splatter with color. But this one is the variegated, but they coordinate really well together because they have the same colors in them. So that's one of the really fun things that Zen does. And then another just more tonal color in this pack. So this one I think is called Electric Blue, and we'll show that version, but there's also other kits with other colors. And we've also done a tutorial Tuesday on this. So it would be a fun crochet project, even if you aren't typically a crocheter and you want to dabble a little bit. You learn a lot of good techniques. You get to start with these granny squares and you join them as you go. All the way across, and then you do these sections of double crochet. So those are pretty fast. And then you do the edging around, and then you get to put it together. It has another little edging up here, or an edging. I think the edging goes all the way around at the end, but then you get to join it wherever you want so that you can make it fit you how you want. And it's just a really cute, nice big poncho top that's easy to throw on. It also, you could connect it, I guess, if you wanted to, all the way down here. But the way it's designed is to just be connected you have some freedom here on one side at least. But Beth Temple is the designer of this beautiful pattern, and we will post that all. And I can't remember if I mentioned this already, but we did do tutorial Tuesdays on this one too. So it's 2 sessions of tutorial Tuesdays. So be sure to go check those out if you didn't already catch those. And she goes through all the techniques you need to do the granny squares and these sections, everything you need for this pattern. I just love how she did it with, well, one of the yarn is just, you know, luxurious, of course, because it's the Zen. But even for a crochet project, it's still drapey and just a nice piece to wear that's easy to style, easy to throw on. And, you know, you could wear it a lot of different ways. You could scrunch it up more if you had a jacket on and leave it as a cowl, or you could, you know, leave it as intended as the poncho. All right, let's see. I think Laura's going to show us on the website too.
Sure.
Links to these kits.
Screen. So this is on the double wrap. Are you guys seeing this one? Just want to be sure. Did that work?
No, we're not seeing it yet.
Okay, hang on. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yes.
So here is on the double wrap shawl. It's available on Ravelry. And then we have 13 different bundles that we have put together. So we've got all different kinds of colorways depending on what it is that you're looking for. Oops, sorry. My computer is not playing nice right now. Go back, please. Okay, so we've got all kinds of different colorways. Again, we used the electric blue bundle, which is right down here for the sample. And we've got teals, greens, vanilla, orange,
I love that true
magenta,
black one.
crimson. Yeah, the true black is pretty too. So, and again, all of these come with a solid colorway, a one of a kind, which is kind of your traditional variegated, and then a splatter, which is the same colors that are in your traditional variegated, but on a white background. So they all kind of coordinate, but they don't conflict with each other.
Yes, coordinate,
They compete with
contrast,
each other.
everything you want, right? Sometimes it's so hard to pick out those contrasting colors that are going to show good together, but they took care of it for us. So yeah, this is I really, you know, enjoy this one to wear. I didn't have to do this one. Actually, I think Mary Beth herself did this one as she was designing it, maybe, but all right. Now I think we get to break for the first gift certificate.
Okay. So everyone open your chat. I'm going to ask a trivia question, and then we're going to pick randomly from the correct answers. So the question is, what color was the Lux blank that the gradient that we used in the Snow Mantra shawl?
Look at it.
Nice.
Okay,
I think I'm going to give it to the first one because there was a pretty big delay. So Cheri, you have a $10 gift certificate. Go ahead and message zenyarngarden. They're in the chat. Just send her your email address and she will get you your coupon. So that'll be $10 off any purchase on the site.
Yay. All right, I'm going to take this off. Oh, of course.
I know you get to do all the changing during this. I just get to sit here and chat.
I'll try not to, you know, make anything too crazy, but all right, next we get to show, like, I don't know if it still is. Do you know, Laura, if this is still like the all-time most knit pattern?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it still is. And so we, of course, couldn't resist the baby surprise jacket. And we did this one in DK yarn, just used, it's just it's the coolest pattern. If you haven't seen it yet, then do check it out. It's called Baby Surprise. It's an Elizabeth Zimmerman pattern that kind of doesn't really take shape until you're done, and then you end up with this like weird thing, and then you do 2 folds and like just seam along the top edge here, and it is magically a little cute little baby jacket. It's been like expanded into even adult sizes, and this one actually is really, I don't know what size you would say, Laura, like baby size, but I have a friend who has a 5-year-old, and I asked her to try it on, and it was super cute on her too, just like a little jacket over over her little dress. And I have her picture. I don't think I showed it to Roxanne yet, but isn't that cute? And she's pretty adorable. Super cute. But I will, I'm going to send that to Roxanne, so maybe she can post it on social media somewhere. But it's just really neat with the colorways too, because of the pattern design. You get to see kind of the flow of the color through the jacket. And this is a DK weight. We did use buttons too. I think we have links to all these things. 2 skeins of DK, right, Laura? I think I said that wrong.
Yeah. So I knit the pattern basically as written. It is, so the pattern was originally written by Elizabeth Zimmerman. I believe it is in a couple of her books. And I didn't bring it. My version is in The Opinionated Knitter by Elizabeth Zimmerman. Elizabeth Zimmerman is kind of not for the faint of heart. She writes kind of sparse instructions. Sort of so I did this, and then I did this for a little while, and then I did this, and then look, it turned into a baby surprise jacket. So if you are after a pattern with a little bit more instruction in it, Schoolhouse Press, which was started by Elizabeth Zimmerman and is now run by her daughter, Meg Swanson, has a row by row version of the pattern. And I will find a link to that. I forgot to put that in there. But so you can acquire the pattern however you wish. I knit it using Elizabeth Zimmerman's instructions, and we used 2 skeins of DK in the colorway is called the Pink Chair, and it is part of our Art Walk series, which are colors that we take art pieces and translate them to yarn. So I will go ahead and show you. I have shared a link to what we have. We have done 10 colorways that are available on DK Weight. Hang on just a second. And all of those are available here. Diane Wickens is a local artist, and when you look at each of the yarns, I'm just going to go into the Pink Chair. When you look at the Pink Chair, you can see the painting that they adapted the colors from. So they looked at the painting and they pulled out certain colors, so you can definitely see the pink and the yellow of the bushes behind and some of the grays, and you can see how that translates to yarn. And they've done that with quite a few colors. The baby surprise jacket used about 2/3 of 2 skeins of yarn, but I definitely wound up both skeins and alternated them so that I didn't have too much pooling. Again, because on the baby surprise jacket, you're kind of varying your rows and garter stitch. You're not going to be able to, it's definitely going to prevent some pooling because pooling is the length of the yarn in the certain color repeat, and if you're increasing or decreasing stitches frequently, it's going to take care of a lot of that because your colors are not going to line up exactly. So that was a fun little one. It only took me a few days to do, and the fun thing about a baby surprise jacket is that it kind of fits differently and will fit for a long time. So the one thing that I will say is there's not really a gauge given in Elizabeth Zimmerman patterns. So for instance, if you knit the baby surprise jacket in fingering weight on smaller needles, you will get more of a newborn size sweater. On DK, I would guess that the sweater is probably a 6 months to a year size. But as you saw, that might have, I don't know if that was a small or regular size 5-year-old, but what would have been long sleeves can then be kind of a short sleeve jacket and worn open. So it's something that will kind of grow with the baby. And the fun thing about baby things is unless you knit them really, really small, they will fit the baby at some point and for a while. So
if you're on time, right? It's just
yeah.
She loved it. She didn't want to take it off. She thought it was
well
funny.
And it is done on the superfine merino DK, so it's 100% superwash merino. So while I did not put it in the washing machine, I will say that we don't generally recommend that, but if your child got something really terrible on it, you likely could run it through the washer. And then just
easily wash it, at least hand wash it. So yeah, that's a good one. And like I said, just open. You can also kind of choose, I think in the pattern, I think she says like evenly space the buttons, but like Laura did, she put
specific. So I just put them all kind of near the top.
Towards the top,
you can spread them out if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Like you can keep them at the top. Then I think it makes it even more versatile for how, the size range to grow a little bit. So I think that's a really good idea if you haven't, thought of that before. And it doesn't specifically state that in the pattern. So, make sure you think about all your normal. The one thing I think she does say
we talked about was if you're not sure which side to put the buttons on, because you're not sure, for instance, what flavor the baby is going to be, you can actually just do buttonholes on both sides, and then you can add buttons to it after the fact. Kind of sew the buttonholes closed as you sew the buttons onto one side. I just picked a side, but if those kinds of things concern you, you can sort of make them work.
I also sometimes I'll do that on purpose, like just put buttonholes both sides, because then you don't have to line up your buttonholes, as you just sew a button on top of the buttonhole that you want. And then, it's in the exact same spot as the other one. So
I don't have a link to those particular buttons, but I believe we just shopped on Etsy for those.
Yes, so they're cute little pink toggles, pretty simple. But yeah, I love this one. It's so cute. And like I said, I'll send Roxanne those patterns or those other photos. I did get permission from mom, and daughter was happy to be a model. And let's see, now we get to show you some of our grab bags. So we can take a look at those on the website.
Oh, you're skipping ahead.
These are already discounted yarns, but you can use all of your other discounts on top of it. The thing with grab bags is that you can't like mix and match. So what you see is what you get, and there's like very limited amount of each bag, say. So sometimes there's just one bag of that specific colorway. We did work a little bit to get some kind of coordinating colors that you can use together or separate out as you see fit. But they're just a really fun thing that gets updated often on the ZenGarden website. So be sure to keep checking. Also, if you see one that you really like, make sure to grab it because they do sell out. And like I said, change often.
So
but they are already
super fine fingering. I'm seeing we had a few of our mini skeins up here. And then I did see a few of Serenity 20. Oh,
yes.
My website's still loading, I guess. It doesn't want to give us pictures for the others. But again, these are skeins that we've just either put together for color or for variation. You can knit multiple projects out of a bag, or you could knit one project out of a bag because a lot of the colors will go together if you wanted to knit some kind of fading project or some kind of color coordinated project.
Mm-hmm. And each bag is one fiber type. So like here I've seen some super fine glitter. That's SFG. Just SF is super fine. That's fingering
S20
weight.
is Serenity 20.
Mm-hmm. Also fingering weight.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we've got Serenity Silk Plus.
Yep, that's the SS Plus.
Here. And then we've got these are our baby skeins, which are 100 yards a piece. And then we also have our mini skeins, which are 200 yards a piece.
Yes.
And I haven't seen any Worsted or DK yet, but there's probably some down here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Here's the DK. So SFDK is superfine DK.
Yes. So that is what the baby surprise was used for.
It is.
Yes, and you could do you could use it alternating with two different color skeins, or the way the pattern is, you could really just start with one and then switch to the other and back and forth whenever you wanted in it. It would kind of flow through the whole garment, which is really cool. So I
really like this one. It's sold out though.
Yeah, that would be really good. And I'm realizing that I kind of skipped around craziness here, but
I know, that's when I said you're jumping ahead.
Sorry,
but I'm
trying to follow what I was told, but I get nervous and I just speak a lot.
So if you're interested in shopping the grab bags for yourself, I'm going to add those in now. I'll add a link for you to shop those, and then let me add the discount code again, just so you've got it. And then I think it's probably time to do our second giveaway.
Yes, but I wanted to mention, because I forgot to mention it, that this colorway was it's actually a local, one of Roxanne and Neville's local designers or local artists. So it's a painting that, is a little bit, that's kind of just a fun story that she's a personal friend of one of the dyers at Zen. So that's kind of fun. Yeah. That's for that one. All right, so we get to pause now and do the gift certificate.
Yeah, so go ahead and open your chat. This goes back just a little ways. What is the name of our new crochet pattern?
Did I even say it? Was I supposed to?
I know I put it in because I put in the link to the pattern on Ravelry.
Okay.
So
designed by Beth Temple. She has a lot of other designs.
I think people are scrolling through the chat.
Yarn Garden designs too. So.
Okay, Amy, it's yours. It is. It's on the double wrap.
Nice.
And that was, we chose that because the pattern is double crochet. So it's on the double.
Lots of double crochet. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, so go ahead and message Zen Yarn Garden in the chat, and she will take your email address and get you a coupon code.
All right.
Okay.
So
Are you going back?
Yeah. now I'm back on track.
Okay.
Next, we get to show or talk about at least a brand new new gradient yarn that we're calling, well, it's super fine glitter. So Laura has a couple, I don't know if I have mine here, but Laura does.
Light is not great, but you can kind of see the glitter as it's 90% superfine merino and 10% stellina. So it's got a nice sparkle to it.
So it's just a beautiful gradient yarn. They have several different colors, which we'll show you. And I'm just going to show I get to show one of my designs. This is the Santiago shawl. It does have a loop for easy wearing, so you can wear it. You can pull your tail through the loop. So no shawl pin or fanciness needed. And it works great with the gradient yarn because you're doing some short rows, but it's really showing off the color all the way along. It does have a little bit of an edging. I don't know if you can see it. It has an I-cord edge, but it's a little bit special because I didn't want it to like pull in. I needed it to be able to be the big curve in the shawl. So that's all in the pattern. I think we've done tutorial Tuesdays, and I have YouTube videos about all those techniques as well. But this is one that would look good. Actually, this is less yardage than is in these new gradient cakes, but the pattern is written such that you can just keep going. So you just keep knitting as much yarn as you have and save a little bit to bind off, and then it will be as big as you want. It's also similar to, and of course, I thought it was right here with me, but it's not right now. But maybe we have a picture of it, the Onward shawl. And that one I did in the Serenity Silk Plus, the Luxe Blanks, but it would also look really well. It's the same basic shape, but it is larger because it's more yardage, and it has eyelets that run through it. So either of those patterns would work beautifully with this yarn. And it would be really fun to see. So send pictures if you end up doing one. And those are all available on the zenyarngarden website. Also, I have several of this kind. There we go. That colorway is called Woodlands.
This is the Onward shawl, and we did this in one of our Luxe cakes, which is 150 grams, 750 yards. Our glitter cakes are similar. They're 170 grams and 680 yards. So it's a little bit less yardage of a slightly heavier weight yarn. It's more of a true fingering weight yarn. But we do have those available in lots of different colorways, as you can see here. And basically the cake and the blank are the same. The cake is just, we dye it in the blanks and then we wind it up into the cakes. And the Inferno gradient is the one that I was holding just a moment ago, and I'm working on a project in that, which will be available at a future booth. But we have 13 colorways so far that we've put on these, and then all of them, like I said, are the 90% superfine merino and the 10% stellina. It is it's a really nice stellina. It definitely has a little sparkle, and you can see it, but it's not obnoxious. And there is so much still of our luxury wool content that it's still super soft.
Yeah,
so
you don't feel the stellina at all.
No, not at all.
And this one, the Santiago shawl, is in the same weight. It's a fingering weight. So if you choose the Onward shawl, and to follow, you can just follow that pattern too, and just stop whenever you're out of yarn. And that one, I would go up one needle size, but if you're doing Santiago, then you could just stay with the needle size and then just keep going, add on as much as you want. There's also the Ammonite shawl is another shawl that's this same kind of shape that would look really neat in that gradient. That one I didn't use a gradient for the first time, but that shawl is written in 2 different sizes. So that's on the zenyarngarden website too. You don't have to find it, Laura. Sorry, I know I'm throwing things at you, but
no, you're okay. We also did several shawls with the Luxe gradient cakes, which would be transferable to these. You might have to stop a little bit sooner, or you could buy a second gradient cake. We did Stephen West's what was that called? I know we did it in Razzle Dazzle. It's the one with the dotted rays. the one with all the eyelets. But
Yeah.
basically those garter stitch shawls that have eyelets and just keep rowing, where you can basically knit till you run out of yarn. Those are great for the gradient cakes because they've got extra yardage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you could even, you know, get a plain color or something too if you wanted to really change things up, and just one skein of something else, or you know, a neutral or even undyed, that would look really cool. Mix things up, but yes, or two gradient cakes too. Just let your imagination grow, right? There's like so many different things. All right, so now I skipped and now I'm back. Craziness. Like I said, we're doing good on time here, so don't feel shy about interrupting us if you have questions about other things that, you know, you're just thinking of. But next I get to show another one of my designs, right? I'm not looking at it now.
Yes,
This one is called the Zen Zip Tee, and let's see, I'll bring her forward a little bit. You can see her. Maybe raise her up so you can see all the way to the bottom here. This one is a tee, and this was knit with 3 different colored yarns. So it's a pack of 3. What are we calling them again?
The baby skeins.
The baby
with
skeins,
100
yes.
yards a piece.
So it's a 3-pack that's 3 different colors. And so you use one at the back, and then you use one color on each of the sides. It's the same color that's the sides, and then one for the front. The unique thing about this is that it is customizable to sizes. So you measure your bust, you measure your waist, and then you figure out how long you decide how long you want to, and then you put all of these those numbers into the pattern. And you see how to make it, you know, fit to you. And it started at the back. So you do a provisional cast on at the back. So you have live stitches that are left here, but you knit this direction. And when you get to the sleeve, you put some stitches on a holder for the sleeve, and then you knit the side, and then you cast on some stitches to get yourself back up to the top here. And then you knit this direction, and then you knit till the center line, and you end up with live stitches there. And then you go back to the live stitches that were hanging out here, and you knit around this way. And then when you get to the center, you do a technique I'm calling, I don't know what we called it, Zen Zip for this pattern, where you kind of zip these stitches together. You don't need any yarn, and it just takes the live stitches and joins them. And it's a little bit visible when you're in person, you can see it. And those get joined together, and then you go back to the sleeves and you knit all the way around the sleeves with some short rows to get this little cap. And then you do a bind off with the color that's in the side to get that edging. So it's kind of a fun pattern. It's very customizable. Like I said, we did do a knit along, and I believe you can purchase the knit along recordings if you want a little bit of extra help with that pattern. But my email's in the pattern, and if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I do have like short videos, tutorials for the different techniques. But if you want that extra bit of help, go ahead and join that. And I'm going to let Laura show you hers, because she just finished hers and she's wearing it.
Yeah, I just finished mine. I did mine more in an autumn pellet colorway, and I chose to do it with black. And so I have my kind of my heavily striped sort of variant here. I used my semi-solid color here, and then at the back I used my spatter. And I will show you what we have. We have limited kits still available for that, and that is here. And basically you have I don't know how many choices we still have available We have some available. These are baby skeins that we started dyeing these about a year ago, and we put different color combinations together in like 3 yarns. So your 3 yarns will coordinate, but they won't be exactly the same. So one will have kind of 2 colors, one will have 4 colors, and then you'll have like a 4-color speckle. So we've got a variety of these colorways. I don't know exactly which ones are left.
That's the one I used.
Suzanne's was knit in this one.
Mhm.
This colorway selection here with the orange and turquoise, and mine was knit with this one here with the orange and red, and then kind of what I think of as Halloween colors with purple and orange and green. And then you have the choice of either a neutral background, natural colors, or a dark background. So, and those kits are available for purchase.
That's my niece.
So we've got a few of those yet left.
Modeling
The other
I have
thing
to
that
find
you
models
could
where I
do-
can, right?
Oh, the other thing that you could do is if you, so the total yardage for these 3 skeins is 300 yards. If you had one skein of zenyarngarden that you really wanted to feature because it was colorways you loved, you could just do all of these sections in your one colorway, and you'd only need one. For every size, the shawl is written so that these sections are basically the same. The only difference is if you decide to make yours significantly longer, but if you're using a 400-yard skein, you probably won't run out. And the thing about the sweater that's so cool is that it's a little bit like a recipe. So basically what you're doing is you're adding some short rows and some extra rows to give yourself some extra width if you need it. You can customize to exactly where you want it to fall. Mine is basically at about hip length, but if you wanted it to be tunic length, you certainly could make it there. You might need to buy a little bit of extra yarn, but those are—
I have the specifics in the pattern of when you would need extra yarn. I just tell you, so basically, I mean, I'm, like I said, I'm 6'2", and I made mine pretty long, this one, and I had enough. So, but it does, if you really want to do like a tunic dress type thing, then you would need another set. Or like Laura mentioned, I kind of wanted it to be so that if you had that like one skein of a special color and you didn't have anything else, you could use that and really show it off in the tee. This one is one that I just used one color. It doesn't look as good when it's not on a mannequin or somebody, but you can see the color here like Laura did. I used the darker as the base, and then I used that one skein here. And then I'm wearing a special one that I keep promising. It's just I haven't published this pattern quite yet, but it's basically the same, except that it has long sleeves, and you have this that edge that's going all the way up. And then the sleeve length is customizable in this one too. You can choose if you want it even to just be a little bit of a longer T sleeve, or if you want it to go all the way down, you can do that too. But it still has the border that finishes the sleeve. And then, like I said, you have that color that runs all the way, and it has the one color in the back. So for this one, you would need one skein of your like show off color, and then usually 2 or 3 of your base color. But this one is—
and this is all knit in fingering weight yarn.
Yes, fingering. It's knit and fingering. And then I have— where's my other version? Well, if I see my other version, I'll grab that, because I did it with where did it go? The Jump in the Pool yarns. I used one of the colorways that I just loved from the Jump in the Pool, and then I used a white base. So maybe I'll find that in a second. I don't know where I put it at this moment, but so anyway, like I said, it's a fun one. Give it a try, and I promise that soon I will get the sleeved version released. And hopefully maybe Laura will be willing to knit that one too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay, well, I have a couple things to do here, Suzanne, and you may not know, Roxanne messaged me a few things. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remind you that we have 25% off site-wide through April 23rd. Use the discount code SPRING at checkout. All orders over $49 in the US receive free shipping and $99 in Canada. Again, you can stack. So when you see sale prices on our site, be sure that when you go to your cart and you add your coupon code, you will then also get 25% off those sale sale prices. So everything was on sale on the grab bag page. All of those numbers will drop again when you put them in your cart and use the coupon code. And then if you have a gift certificate, use it to check out. We love it. So the second thing that I want to tell you is we have a bunch of fun tutorial Tuesdays coming up in April and beyond. I know we have one coming up, I think this week is going to be on yoga and knitting. We're going to have more crochet tutorials. We have the baby surprise jacket. You can register to attend our tutorials using the link that I just put in the chat. All of our tutorials are free to attend, but you do have to register. We had an unfortunate incident with a Zoom bombing. So in order to send out the Zoom link, we have to know you're coming. There is no commitment to buy anything ever. Obviously, we'd love it if you used our yarns, but if you have stash at home that you would like to use, that's fine. And
also, if you know you can't make it, it's still worth registering because you'll get the update of the recording.
Yeah, we record all of them, and then they also all go to our YouTube channel afterwards, and you can always catch up there. I will add that link one more time. And then something that
wait, but if you come to the tutorial Tuesdays, then you can ask questions, and we also usually give out gift certificates. So
yeah, there are usually gift certificates there as well. So all previous tutorials are on our YouTube channel. Now, Roxanne mentioned to me that Amy has a blanket that she knit. And if Amy is willing, I will make your screen big so you can share. We love seeing customer projects.
Just give me a second here to get it. So
sure.
Yay, yeah. Anybody else have a Zen project they're working on or handy? Let us know.
Oh, I see the Litzy shawl. We're gonna go there next. We're gonna go there next.
Okay. Oh, Amy's got hers, and then we'll do Litzy.
This is Amy's Dream Big blanket. So this is in our Big Up, which are super fun skeins, and you can arm knit it. And let me did you unmute yourself?
Or like finger, where you're just using your hand.
You're welcome to talk about it if you'd like. I don't want to talk over you.
I absolutely love this thing. I bought it and I kept the kit for a while. It's got 4 different colors in it, which is great. And I actually showed this off in a lot of the, I actually tease Ben a lot about this because he really likes it and he said I should give it to him. So anyway, so it's just a lot of fun. I love the colors, and it took me just a little bit of playing with it to figure out how to get it nice and consistent, but very easy project and very warm because I
and how long did it take you to knit the whole thing? Do you have an idea? Because it's like
I don't remember. I thought it was only like 3 or 4 hours at most.
Yeah, for a huge blanket, right?
And I've got 4 huge balls that I use to do this. So
nice.
Yeah, and I love it.
Thank you for showing us. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Let me do one thing. I'm gonna remove Amy's video, and I am gonna share my screen just briefly because I went ahead and highlighted where these are on the site. We have Big Up. We produce Big Up in any of the colorways that, well, okay, not any of the colorways, but we have lots and lots of colorways. And we also have kits that are available. Your discount will work on these as well. I will add this link to the chat. And then we also have if you just want to try one skein, I actually put together this Party Girl shrug and cowl, and you can make this out of one skein. And I arm knit this, and after I figured out what I wanted the pattern to be, it really probably only took me an hour or two to make it happen. This is arm knitting, so it's lots and lots and lots of fun. So again, we've got a variety of you can order single skeins. Did you actually
use your arms, or did you like? I don't know. I'm calling it like hand knitting or something because you just use your fingers.
Yeah, I guess I didn't use my arms. I laid it out on the table in front of me. And Suzanne and I attended a conference right after, or attended a show right after these came out, and we sat and made these. And actually a guy came back and was like, will you make me a blanket? And he picked his colors, and we made him a blanket by the end of the day that we could sell to him. Yes, so it was awesome. It was pretty fun.
That was right before COVID.
So and then I want to see Jeanette. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You don't have to talk, but I'm going to add the spotlight, and I want to see your Litzy shawl because I know you made this with us.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
Good job.
This was another tutorial Tuesday. I'm going to see if I can find a link for it. And this is a pattern.
Was it tutorial Tuesday, or did we do a knit along?
I think it's we did a knit along. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's a knit along. Oh, it's
Just
beautiful.
a second.
Good job. So it's a gradient skein. It's a gradient cake and then natural in between. But it's really fun because you're doing all these short rows. If you can see, you start at the center and you knit around, but you're adding short rows to get those leaf shapes. And then you use your colored yarn and do some short rows too to get those leaves. But it's really a fun pattern. And then you like cast off the bottom and you work your way out for both of the wings. But
yeah,
it looks awesome.
No, it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing
Yes.
so much.
Do you wear it a lot? Or?
Yeah, I actually just finished it. The only one thing that I did, I wanted the fade to continue, so I kind of like did the wings together.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like
so
maybe this one, then this one.
Yeah, I did a couple, and then I went to the other side and did.
Well, yeah, that works because each set you kind of do differently anyway. So, and it has you cut sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
No, it
I got like this far and I've actually gone back to it. So I think I'm actually going to finish it someday. Maybe.
Well, I was going to say, now you know why it took me so long to finish this one, because I was working on samples and it's really hard to go back to the things once.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So, and I will just share really quickly, that is available as well. This is, we did ours, I think, in a slightly different gradient, or maybe we just used the colors a little bit differently. You can pick your gradient color. So I did I did the sample in woodlands and natural, but you can do all kinds of things. That's on my back deck, actually. I'm like, wait, I recognize that photo. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun one. And it's garter stitch. Here, this one you can see it a little. Oh, I have that too.
Yeah, and it looks like
this colorway, yeah.
You can purchase access to the videos as well. So
yeah, so this wasn't one of the free tutorial Tuesdays. We had to spend a little bit more time because it is a little bit more involved with doing all those short rows that you do both in the garter stitch in both colors. You're doing short rows in the round. So it's a little bit of a mind, concentration game for this one. But oh.
I was going to say, so it looks like we have about 8 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything you'd like to see?
Yes, anything we didn't cover? I do have my rack here of all of my beautiful samples. Most of them, I guess I knit a lot of them too, I'll say, but Laura knit a lot of them. Samples and things.
I'm being told Britta has fingerless mittens to show. Are you interested in sharing them?
Well, it's actually fingerless glove because I've only done one. Well, let me take off my background so you can see them a little better. Okay, hold on a second here.
Yeah, it's hard to see the color, huh?
Yeah. Oh, actually, let me see if I can get the light a little better. Yeah, the sun is kind of coming into my room now. But this
they're so pretty though.
Oh, I love that design.
Toast and jam.
Pretty.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the designer is, but did this in DK, and I think this was from a grab bag, one of the grab bags with gorgeous colors in it. And it's come out so nice. But yeah, I'll probably finish it in time for summer. So
next year, you'll be set.
Next year.
Or air conditioning. Sometimes they like over air conditioning.
This is the pattern. The Santiago shawl was a gradient on sock yarn. Yes. I don't know if we have any of those currently.
I don't think this one was dyed for Vogue Live like 3 years ago. I don't remember. More than that probably now.
And that was just 400 yards of sock yarn, right?
Yeah. Yep. Just 400 yards. It is a gradient cake, but if you just had one skein, you could knit. I was going to show, this one is I mentioned it, the Ammonite shawl. It's that same shape, but I'm showing you the back. It has a different edge. So it has these little spirals in the edge, like an Ammonite shell, if you know that. And you could do this this one is fingering weight also, and this version has 2 different sizes. This is the larger size, which is 2 skeins, 2 regular fingering weight skeins, and then it also has a 1 skein version. So you can just stop, you know, and keep going as you want. But you can see this one I did in just one kind of tonal yarn instead of the gradient. But I think the gradient ones work, you know, even better.
There are a few. I'll just share my screen briefly. I went and typed in gradient on zenyarngarden, and you see our glitter gradients here. These ones with the 2 cakes listed, those are the 400 yard gradient cakes. So there are a few of them. There aren't that many of them, but they are on sale. If you wanted to do just a 400 yard skein in a gradient, there are a few of those available here. So you'll see those. Actually, there are more than I thought. So
I thought the meeting started at 7, so I'm very late. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I got it wrong.
You're fine.
Right.
We normally do start at 7 when it's us, but this one isn't us. So
yeah.
But we do have it recorded, so if you want to go back and check. And I did find my one that other. This is also the Zenzit tee with sleeves. But in this one, I used one of the jump in the pool colorways, which I don't know if we have any of those left on the site.
Let me see.
Honestly, but this is one of my favorite colorways. I love it. It's got the teal and red together. It looks kind of blue, but it's really teal, like in person. I love it.
Jump in the pool is all sold out, sadly.
Is it?
I don't know if there will
We
be
might have
more.
to resurrect
Roxanne would
that.
have to tell us.
All right, we just have a few more minutes. Any final questions for us? You've got our attention. Or also, if you have suggestions about Tutorial Tuesdays, we're always happy to hear your suggestions and take those and run with them. We do have, like Laura mentioned, a couple a little bit different ones for us. We have guest presenters for them. We have the yoga one coming up this week, and then crochet again with Beth Temple. So that's exciting to have a little bit different things going on. And yeah, any final questions? Come on, guys. Don't be shy.
Am I on? I can't.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
We hear
no.
you, Beverly.
I'm sorry. I'm doing like 10 things at once. No, it was very interesting, and I didn't know all this about
Oh, good.
that garden. I had no clue. So
Awesome.
now I know, and I'm gonna come on to some of them because I love watching.
Great.
You know.
I'd love to see you.
Awesome. Yeah.
I have
sign up for our
crochet.
newsletters.
I do all that stuff. So anyway,
Yay,
all right.
Thank you.
It was
I have
nice.
a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead, Ronnie. Is that Ronnie?
Yes, thank you. And I had just put the question in chat to Laura, but I'm getting the answer. Oh, well, you know, I'm curious because I know you don't have the gradient cake that you used to knit the Santiago that you showed, but if that was one gradient cake, that had a lot of different colors in it.
It did, didn't it? Because, you know, Neville is amazing.
Most gradient cakes do not have that many colors in them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
a lot
looking
of
at
them,
right now.
you know, you have to look through the ones. There are some that have less,
Do you
and there's some
have,
that have
do
more.
you have any that you know of? What gradient cake has the most colors in it that you have?
I did see some in that, you know, on the web page
Hold on, I'll
that
share it
Laura
again.
linked, that looked
I'll
like
share
they
it
had
again.
a lot of colors in them
Right.
also.
And another question is, will you wind yarn?
The cakes, the gradient cakes come caked.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So you can also, the Luxe blanks, I believe, I don't know if we're still doing it, that you could choose if you wanted it to be left in the blank. But most of our gradient cakes are wound. So what you see on this page here is what you're getting.
Well, I would love a gradient cake. I'd love to knit that with quite a few colors in it. And
Nice.
but I'm
It
not.
looks like maybe this one, the 10, not so much the pink one, but that top one has green,
That has a lot of
red, and
color,
lavender,
yeah.
and purple and black.
Something brighter. I mean, like the one in the model was a brighter was a
little brighter with
Yeah.
some greens.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
I
don't-
did see some of those too.
I wear all
like-
black, so I want something brighter, of course.
Oh yeah.
Roxanne, feel free to speak up because that's
Feel free to
what
send
these
there.
specifically are is not going to be.
Oh, there. What was that?
I'm not in
like
Canada
kind of
in
pinky.
person, so
Yeah, you can always message
you
can
keep-
we help you at zenyarngarden.
Well,
That's
you kept
our
going so
email.
past that, you kept passing the one I was going to ask you about that I think you saw as well. So
Yeah.
Oh.
I think,
which one?
I don't know. You don't have it on the screen now.
no.
Okay, hold on.
But you can always send an email to can we help you at zenyarngarden, and you can tell her kind of what you want, and they would make some good suggestions.
That's it. Hold on. The Peppy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is a different base.
It is, but you could
definitely
use
get
that for this too.
Yeah, that one's available. It's a different base. That's the super fine glitter base. So it's going to be a slightly larger cake of yarn, but yes, it will have all those colors in it.
Does it have? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a consideration. I'll just have to look for more.
Yes. But yeah, they're caked, so that's convenient if you want. Our normal skeins are not wound, but the cakes
You
are.
wine skeins?
I don't know if we do that. I don't think so.
It's a shame because I'll be honest, I'm a passionate knitter, but since I don't mind paying a fee, but since I do chemo, the lasting side effect is I get tremendous wrist pain.
Oh,
I whine by any method, and then I can't knit, I can't write, I can't do anything for like 6 weeks.
oh yeah, save yourself.
So any yarn, and I'll be honest, I probably have over 1,000 skeins of yarn in my stash, and I'm always buying yarns. But yarn shops who will not wind.
Well, we do.
not
We just got the
business.
definitive answer. We do wind.
Thank you. Okay. All
If you
right.
need
Oh,
it,
that's
so
great to know
awesome.
because I
Make
have
sure,
the same problem.
make sure you
lot of
put that
people
note
do.
in there that you want the wine.
Yeah.
The wound.
Sure. I mean, I don't mind paying a fee. A lot of
Me
people
either.
have this problem. And there are many yarn shops have great yarns, and they will not wind. So too bad for them.
But
Yeah,
well, I
yeah.
understand too, though, that they may not have the ability to have that much time to do that. But I love the
it does
ones
take
that
a little
will do
extra
it.
time, but usually,
My own.
at least they have like the really nice winders that, not all of us are able to. I don't
Sure.
have a very nice winder, but I have an adequate one, so I'm happy.
I
And a
got my
Swift.
own
You've got to have that
winder,
Swift.
Swift.
But
That's
love
great
that.
to know.
Thank you.
And that's easiest.
Yeah.
Get your own wine.
Okay, well,
And
we
I
are
love
at
your
time and I don't.
presentation also, I will tell you, fabulous.
Yay, thank you.
Great. We
So
are
just-
at time, so thank you for coming.
they're
We
gonna
hope
kick
we
us
get
off.
to see you at a future tutorial Tuesday. Happy knitting, happy shopping, happy Easter.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
hope to see you soon.
Yes, thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Okay.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.